Wanna talk? So let's talk. Yeah. Talk. You wanna talk? You gotta talk, you need to talk. News talk.
I talk, you talk to Solomon. I talk, you talk to Solomon. Yeah, let's talk to Solomon. Talk,
Not us.
talk to Solomon.
You gotta talk, you wanna
Welcome and good evening. It's Talk to Solomon time. This is Talk to Solomon. My name is Stan Solomon. I'm the host with the most seniority on everyone, actually. My co-host,
Chief Steve.
former police chief Steve Davis, and from places far flung, from AmericanRadio.us, the global, what is it, Brent? Brent.
Global Freedom Report. It's freedomradio.us.
Oh, it's Freedom Radio. All right, I'll get it right
American
one of
Radio.
these days. I
Freedom
need to write
Radio.
it down. FreedomRadio.us, the global report, show that Brent does every
Global
Saturday.
Freedom Report.
Yeah, the Global Freedom Report, and the show
Global
is Saturday
Freedom
when?
Report.
When is it?
Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. 5 to 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. freedomradio.us will get you all the information.
All right, so just check it out, folks. I highly recommend it, and then you can listen to Brent's show, and then when you come back and listen to me, you can tell me what he said, and I can give him a hard time. All right. Abortion. Listen to this. According to an international, that must be better than American because, you know, the Supreme Court says that's where they want to go for their information. An international group of obstetricians and other physicians met in Dublin. That's in Ireland. This weekend, they issued a statement saying abortion is never medically necessary. Do you hear with that? They've been lying to us again. You never have to kill the baby to save the mom. Now, sometimes someone could say, hey, if a mother has, God forbid, cancer, heart disease, and without certain medication, the mother won't survive, and that medication would be harmful to the baby inside of her. I agree with that. That's a mother's decision. They told my wife, this story I know, they told my wife when she was pregnant with my youngest son that if she took the medicine that she needed to take for her asthma, that he wouldn't survive. And you know what? They were right, because 3 previous children died. She carried them full term, 9 months. They died in her womb and were born dead because of the medicine. So she said, no medicine. That's my choice. I'm not going to take the medicine and kill another one of my children. And the doctor said, what? You can't do that. You have to take this medicine. We're your doctors. We're going to go to court. And I said to the doctors, they were Israeli doctors, by the way, I mean, born in Israel, they were in America. I said, if you go to court, you better record your testimony because you'll never survive long enough to testify. You try and make my wife kill her child, my child, our child, and I will take your life. This is not a threat. That's a promise. Have you ever seen an Israeli doctor do the 100-yard dash in reverse while peeing? I did. They believed me because I meant it. Our son was born. He was fine. My wife survived. She had some tough times. She's fine. He's almost whatever. He's 27 years old. Did we lose Brent again? Shoot. See if we get it back. But at any rate, the fact is, it's never medically necessary to kill a child. This health of the mother, mindset of the mother, it's all garbage. Chief.
Yes, the phrase is usually to save the life of the mother, which there's been no reported cases of that ever. It's not a possibility because, as you've just mentioned, there are cases where the pregnancy may involve the mother's health, but it's never a life-threatening situation for the mother. So then the mother can opt, if she wants to make choices.
The pregnancy doesn't threaten.
The pregnancy doesn't, but it's still the pregnancy doesn't affect, or nothing that goes on in the pregnancy would affect the life of the mother. There's no cases on file ever where a pregnancy has caused a doctor to say the pregnancy itself is going to kill the mother. That's never happened. So, but this makes me really focus on the terminology that's been used. And so the left never says what you said, baby, my child. They always say it's this procedure, it's a fetus, it's just a tissue mass, it's something like that. But the other side, our side, the Republicans and the Christian side, has never really come up yet and forcefully said, no, these are babies. You're killing a baby. This is a human being that you're killing. It's not just a procedure. It's a murder that you're exercising. Until we have to take this from the theoretical into the reality. You know, what if it was your baby? What if it was your grandchild? What if it was your relative going through this? What would you say then? It's a much different story when you use real terms rather than theoretical terms. The next part then is that goes with this, because and I know this from running for campaigns, and know a lot of politicians that have run for campaigns. When you're interviewed and record questionnaires for Right to Life groups, they ask you these questions. You must respond and sign and put your name. I swear this is what I believe I'm going to stand for. And the other one is, you know, the exceptions were normally rape, incest, and if it jeopardized the life of the mother. So the life of the mother's out the window now. We're left with rape and incest. So then the next part is it's the same argument. Are you going to kill your own child? Are you going to let one of your relatives' child be killed and murdered because of that event? It's not the child's fault whatsoever.
I was asked that specific question by a 6'3" bad breath lesbian who was on the Jerry Springer show, and she said, among other things, all right, Solomon, if your daughter, who was I think 12 at the time, if she were raped and got pregnant, what would you do? Huh? I said, first I'd get you a mint. And then, I wouldn't kill my granddaughter. I'd kill the son of a bitch that got her pregnant. What would you do, Henrietta Heifer? And she didn't have a word to say. She damn near choked. And Jerry Springer swished his little weird butt up there and said, oh, Stan, you're being mean. I said, Jerry, you just stay in your position as being the freak show host. Don't get into any intellectual discussions. You're coming in unarmed.
Well, mean is not sticking up for the unborn who are defenseless.
Exactly.
And mean is killing defenseless unborn children.
Now, let's talk about children for a minute. The Canadian Medical Association has called for a ban on spanking, to make it a crime to spank your kids. All right. Should a child be beaten? Never. Should a child be injured? Maybe their pride. But no, that's not what anyone's talking about. Spanking, swatting, is to try and train the child in the right way and keep them from going the wrong way, because children don't know and they will explore the limits. They absolutely will explore those limits. Should anyone ever take a bat or a paddle and swat a child so hard that you injure them? No. But my mother left more than a few red marks on my skinny butt. It didn't hurt me. It helped me. It helped me. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, punishment it works, but if it is equal to or greater than the action that caused you to punish in the first place.
Commensurate.
So in this case, I do personally believe that spanking shouldn't be hours after the fact. It shouldn't be when your dad gets home later, you're going to get a spanking. No, it should be something that's pretty close to immediate, that tells that this is very serious and it cannot be tolerated again. For example, a kid runs in the street. You know, they don't need a lecture. Most kids don't understand lectures anyway. A little spank here and there real quick gets their attention, keeps them safe, so they won't do that again. So it has its place.
My daughter, who got, I think, 3 spankings in her entire life, but she got a lot of threats. And when that one thing she did, she left her little purse. She was whatever she was, 11. She left her purse at the theater. We'd just gotten home. She said, oh, I left my purse. And she went bolting out the door. It was like 10 o'clock at night. It was pitch black, and we were like 8 miles from the theater. Exactly where was she? You know, she wasn't thinking. She just lost her purse. And I swatted her little butt. And yes, she cried. And I said, you never run out of this house at nighttime. Never. In the middle of the night, running out into the street. You can't do that. You're going to get hurt or get killed, God forbid. She still remembers that to this day. And I got to tell you a more important story. My daughter, bless her little Bippy, my youngest daughter, she used to like the fillings inside chocolate. The sheriff here just asked me, what's nougat? I said, nougat's what gave you this guy. But anyway, nougat is one of the fillings in these chocolate candies. So what she did is we would get chocolates, you know, like Esther Price chocolates, if you know those. They're very good. She would take a little cocktail straw, unwrap each one, put the little cocktail straw on the bottom, suck out all the insides very carefully, and then rewrap it. Then I would go to eat one, and I'd break my teeth because you're not expecting something there. There's nothing there, and crunch, you bite your lip. And I'd say, you can't do that. I'm telling you, I'm going to spank you. Well, she was, I don't know, 6, 5. So she did it one more time. I said, all right, that's it. After dinner, after you do your homework, you're getting a spanking. Well, you know, the big voice, the big threat. She was crying like the world was going to end. It took her, you know, an hour and a half to finish her peas. She did not get done with dinner. Then she, you know, usually her homework took 15 minutes. She worked on it for an hour. And by then I'd forgotten all about it. And then she went to bed. And my wife said, all right, Mr. Big Mouth, you threatened her. It's time. Go spank her. I said, all right. So I go in her bedroom. She's laying across her bed. And she has taken every pair of pants she owns and put them all on. The padding on her little butt was that big. And then, for extra benefit, she stuck a book in her pants to protect her little behind. She didn't get a spanking. I laughed myself silly. So did my wife. She was already asleep, but she had protected the vitals. You have a story like that?
Well, no, but I do have a story. I've been through many supervisor training classes in my lifetime.
And did you spank
and one
people?
thing, well, yes. But one thing that was emphasized about changing behavior, this was for adults, but it applies, was that people that focus on why people do something oftentimes don't get their behavior changed. You just must change the what they're doing. And so you make rules, you make actions, you do things to make the employees change their behavior. They'll figure out the why later. It's the same with kids. You know, I see a lot of parents, like they're out at dinner somewhere and the kids are misbehaving and they're making noise or they're doing everything, and the parents are trying to talk to these young children about why they shouldn't do that. They're not changing their behavior because they're focused on the why. But a simple little, all of a sudden the behavior's changed, they'll figure out the why later. It's a much better approach. At times, it depends on the situation, but it's very effective and should not be outlawed merely on the fact that some people don't like kids getting spanked.
These doctors are morons. Don't go to them. I don't go to doctors anyway, and I certainly don't want to go to these morons. The Army has ordered. Have we got Brent back? Still can't get it back. Shoot. The Army has ordered, you know, there's a store in a mall where I work where they sell radio-controlled little, you know, helicopters, whatnot. And you just take your little controller and it'll get up and fly and it'll go, you know, 20 feet this way and 20 feet that way and 20 feet up in the air. Well, we got Brent. All right, Brent, you back with us? We got his volume turned up? Are you with us, Brent? I can't hear him. Can he hear me?
Yes, I am, Stan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gotcha. Sorry about that. Well, we've done a couple of topics.
Yes, I'm no problem.
Okay, can you hear me? I still can't hear Brent.
Yes, I hear you, Stan, and I'm with you.
Okay. What we're talking about now is that the military has ordered a radio-controlled drone with a 6-mile radius that can go kill people. And I figure that the Social Security Administration and the Highway Patrol will want these things too, just in case they have to go kill somebody. Scares the bejeebers out of me to put that kind of remote lethal power in the hands other than of our military with specific rules that they can never be used on American soil. Your thoughts?
My thought is that you're absolutely correct and that we've got a serious problem here. I think what we really need is we need people in the audience who are physicists and electrical engineers to develop counter technology to essentially dismantle these devices. Maybe an electromagnetic pulse device, portable one, something or other, that will simply make these inoperative. Because, you know, this is the Fourth Reich right in front of us if we don't do something to stop it.
Chief?
Well, my experience in the United States Army taught me a lot of things, and One was I was not in the infantry, but I used to love going and watching the soldiers shoot off the mortars and the bazookas and the law rockets and the TOW missiles, but those are called line-of-sight weapons. And that means
You can see what you're shooting at.
and they can see you. And so thinking about the safety of the soldiers being on the battlefield, first of all, the mission of the military is to kill people and break things. And so if we can create weapons for our military where they can kill people and break things without putting themselves in the line of sight, the line of fire, I'm all for that.
Right. And I don't have a problem with the military not on American soil. I think that posse comitatus on steroids. And we need to make sure, because I don't trust this president, and frankly, I don't trust the next president, and I didn't trust the last president, and I won't trust any future president. We need to have it absolutely that if a president orders the military against the American people, that president is immediately guilty of treason and high crimes and has to be removed from office and will be jailed or something.
And it's an unlawful order that should not be followed out.
And exactly that. Brent, you agree?
I completely agree. By the same token, we need to have military personnel with the character to disobey these unlawful, unconstitutional orders. And more of those people are being weeded out so that you have a mindless, obedient military that are just going to follow orders, which is exactly what happened in the Third Reich.
Exactly.
Well, there need to be some examples, because it's easy to say if it's unlawful, don't follow it. Well, what's that mean? There needs to be some examples of a lawful plus an unlawful order that people can use as a basis to make that decision.
Well, a perfectly prime example is, will you follow an order if you're in the United States military, or for that matter, in any U.S. law enforcement, to disarm law-abiding citizens saying it's no longer legal to own firearms? That is going against the Constitution. It cannot be a legal order.
Can't be.
All right. Defense firms are saying that thanks to President Obama, there will be tens of thousands of layoffs in the defense industry because this man is dismantling our military. Brent?
I have mixed feelings about this. I do not think we need to continually increase the budget for the military. Every single time it comes up, we need more money, we need more money, we need more money. I happen to agree with that. I think that our military is on an imperialistic, expansionistic mission to basically be everywhere in the world. And I don't want our military everywhere in the world. I want our military at home, guarding our borders, protecting America. I'm not interested in protecting Pakistan or Afghanistan or Iraq. Okay, they can protect themselves. I want our military protecting us. So I don't think we should be spending so much money. So I do think we should reduce money. I don't think it's necessary to reduce personnel at the same time. Just our foreign activities. We don't need to be doing as much on other soil.
Well, I don't disagree with you at all. I just think we have to have a policy that says, if you mess with us, you will be messed up permanently. If we had gone in Iraq, as soon as we had the problem there, and wiped out the areas that were attacking us, the rest of the areas would have calmed down. There'd have been no problem. But when you're going to tiptoe through the tulips and try and play nice, it doesn't work. It's guaranteed to cost us more lives. We could have won Vietnam in 2 weeks. Instead, we spent 8 years and lost 55,000 Americans. It didn't need to happen. If I'm ever elected president, folks, no war will last more than 10 days, and no country will last more than 6 days if they decide to mess with us. That's my opinion. All right. The GM vote. You'll be happy to know that GM loses 50 grand on every one they sell, and by the way, they're not selling anymore except to the Pentagon. Thank you very much. They're buying them as fast as they can.
Who makes up that 49,000 that they lose?
You.
That's what I thought.
And you. It's amazing. It's been estimated the cost of putting out one vote is $250,000. They sell them for $40,000. That's $210,000 loss when they first put it out. Now they got it down where they're only losing 50 grand. We should celebrate. Let's have a party. I know. Let's have a party in the dark. Because since they won't let us use coal anymore, when you're going to charge up your vote, it'll cost you $800. It'd be cheaper to burn gas. Or better yet, ride a dinosaur. Fred Flintstone did. Brent, what do you think?
Hey, you want to reduce the budget of the Pentagon, let the Pentagon stop buying these things. If you simply got the Pentagon to operate under some kind of a normal sense, a common sense approach to buying items, you would save a tremendous amount of money. The famous $1,000 hammers and $100 screws and buying volts at a loss to the American people. You want to save money, exercise some common sense. I agree with you. I think this is absolutely absurd. And frankly, the American people should have a tax revolt. We refuse to pay any more taxes whatsoever until you straighten up the way you buy and sell.
I frankly think that's a huge idea, because if one person did it, they'll kill you. But if 100,000 did it, there's nothing they could do. And if 10 million did it, in fact, by the way, more than 10 million are already doing it. There's an estimation out there that someplace between 30 and 40 million Americans have simply dropped out of the system. Thanks to you, Brent. That's probably half of them right there.
They're on SSI.
Oh, that's true.
That's where they went.
All right,
but
we're going to wrap it up.
For the record, though, I'm for spending more money on the military. But they shouldn't. We should be buying guns and tanks and not volts. But if we buy this in the right way, we spend the money on American-made products only. Have everything made in America by Americans, paying Americans. So that's another way to put money into the economy. I'm really not for having a lot of government employees except for the military.
I'm with you. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Brett, closing thoughts.
Just my closing thoughts that I didn't get a chance to discuss are that I am appalled at what the GOP did at the National Convention. And as much as I despise Obama and will celebrate if Obama is overturned, I will not celebrate if Mitt Romney is the replacement, because I think what the Republicans have done is they've alienated the party's support. They've done a very stupid thing that I think in the long term is going to hurt the Republican Party very, very badly, and has disenfranchised millions of people in the process. I cannot support Mitt Romney under any circumstances because of that, even though I don't support Obama.
All right. Well, I happen to think you're 100% right, except I am going to support Mitt Romney, because that is the only way we'll get rid of Barack Obama. Then Mitt Romney will be in my crosshairs, not to be hurt, but to be politically focused upon and pressured in every way I can possibly do it.
Steve? We've heard a lot of comments in the past months about if Lassie was running for president, if an orange juice can was running for president, we have to vote for that rather than Obama. I just want to mention the advice I heard from Mark Levin on his radio show, where he said our mission now is to defeat Obama and then fix the GOP.
Bingo. And by the way, we all have to vote for the same orange juice can, or Obama will get back into office. Thank you, America. Appreciate you being here. Brent Johnson, again, tell folks how they can get to information on your show. Brent? All right.
FreedomRadio.us, freedomradio.us, or 888-385-3733, 888-385-FREE, or freedomradio.us. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you very much. Good night, America.
God bless America.
Thank you.